troubling mathematical sums, do you, Johnny?
$119.
Don't think he will look at the ball. Single 18 for double 16. Maths is good, the darts is good. It's an 11 darter for Johnny the Ferret Clayton. 2-1. 3 legs, all breaks of throw. Johnny Clayton averaging 108. And Damon Heta just can't get rubber the green
87.
at the minute. In fact, of all the players that we've seen play in these Players' Championship events so far, Damon Heta, there's only 2 players who faced higher averages
99.
against them. Christian Bunser, on average, people are throwing 103 average against Christian Bunser.
60.
Devon Peterson is facing 99.5 averages typically. But Damon Heta is facing almost 98. So it is tricky for the Aussie man.
100. $100.
Well, at the minute, Clayton is averaging well over 100, and that'll be dragging Heta's stats up. It's not a stat you want, though. Just give him an easy game somewhere along the line. This is what he signed up for.
138.
Very nicely done. Leaves himself on a checkout of 164.
$40.
Yeah, no need to go treble 18 and bullseye there.
85.
Well, he didn't need to stay on the 20s, but I mean, ultimately, when your last dart goes into the 5, you start thinking maybe you should have moved down to, say, the 16s.
125.
$20 and tops. Just a little shuffle to the right. Be looking at the right-hand side of this double top bed.
59.
Yeah, but he's dragged that very low. Nice check out this, treble 19, double 16. Beautiful, bang in the middle. Double 8. Oh, well, at least we got
81.
to look at double 8 again. Heta will not be rushed. Oh dear. Double 7. Well, he made it difficult, but the double 7 finds its mark. And again, Damon Heta breaks back because Johnny Clayton has missed darts to hold his throw and consolidate. Open up a 2-leg advantage. 2 apiece.
$97. $95.
Want to keep up to date with everything going on around Wigan today? You can do that on the Dart Connect system. I can tell you that right now, as we speak, the UK Open champion Nathan Aspinall is 4-1 up on Barry Bates,
100.
another Welsh player. One of the ties of the first round, Rob Cross, the world number 4, is taking on Jeff Smith,
140.
who we saw yesterday, averaging a ton and still losing to Mensur Suljovic, who hit a 9-darter. Jeff Smith leads 4-1 in that one. Rob Cross in trouble. Peter Wright, the world champion, 4-1 up on Wayne Jones. Michael Van Gerwen 4-2 up on X-Factor Andy Bolton. And Mensur Suljovic, so impressive yesterday, 4-0 up on Callan Ridds.
139.
Now then, Damon Heta, that World Series title was peppered with big finishes, but we're not going to see one here.
$54.
17 segments. Bullseye for 127 in game. The Ferret makes it 3-2. It's another 4-visit leg. 12 darter, bull finish, 127 in game. 5 consecutive breaks of throw in this strange old contest.
135.
Can somebody just hold their throw once? If Johnny Clayton can do it here, it might be the decisive factor. Adrian Lewis been looking good at the start of 2020. Some impressive stuff from Jackpot, only stopped by an incredible display from Peter Wright yesterday. He's in a real battle. Good
100.
Game. On board 8, Willie O'Connor, title winner in PDC Darts, remember? It's 3-2 to the Irishman, the Magpie, against Jackpot. Jermaine Watermainer might be the first man to win this morning or this afternoon. He's 5-2 up on
140.
Another Irish darts player. Rob Cross has got a leg back against Jeff Smith, but still trails 4-2. Here comes Ferret.
140.
Well, he took out 127 in game in the last leg. Can he take out 126 in this leg? May get 6 darts for it. Might not, though. Got to find another. Now, he did this earlier on and threw it into the 5. Moved across. Well,
100.
He managed to get the line right, but couldn't find the treble, and he needed one to leave a finish. So Clayton can go any route he likes. Is he staying there? Of course he is. Double 6.
114.
Well, you see, the problem with that route is that you do leave yourself double 6, and you miss that. You're down for double 3. Things can get a bit sketchy. Although I would say that the way Ferret's darts go into the board, double 3 shouldn't be that daunting a double for him.
97.
Double 6 would be better, though. And there it is.
Shot.
It is a 13 darter, and finally somebody in this game has held throw. It is Johnny the Ferret Clayton. The Welshman leads 4-2. He's averaging 106, and can Damon Heta just catch a break at some point? He is running into big names, throwing big averages. And it's happened pretty much every day that he's lined up in these Players' Championship events. The draw has not been particularly kind.
140.
Yes, he beat Gert Nenchez last Saturday, but Nenchez averaged 100 against him. Heta had to average 100 to win it 6-3. Then he ran into Michael van Gerwen, the world #1. The next day, he runs into Mensur Suljovic in round 1. And then the next day, he gets Dave Pallett, a fellow unseeded player.
97.
Goes all the way to a last leg decider, and Pallett manages to nick it. So, look, he's been competitive, Heta, but he's had a lot thrown at him. And I kind of get the feeling we've seen enough quality from him, even if he were to go out to Johnny Clayton here. The first 2 weekends, Heta might be only walking away with 500 quid in ranking money, although he has qualified for a Euro Tour as well, which is a good thing. But I think he's shown enough
60.
quality to suggest that he's going to be a threat. He's going to be dangerous. He's going to go on some runs at some point. He just needs to perhaps get past one of these top seeds.
95.
Which he's been close to doing. And then maybe he can just take advantage, nick their place in the draw. Perhaps it opens up for him. Find his way through to the quarters, the semis, a final like Jeff Smith. Win one like Ryan Searle did yesterday.
99.
So 126 again for Ferret. Yes. Bullseye then. Ooh.
101.
Now Damon Heta, 108 required. What's the route here? Could be looking at 19s. Or is he looking at 20s? Is he looking at 18s? He is looking at 18s. Shanghai. Oh, that's unlucky, isn't it? That is unlucky. looked a good marker, seemed to use it very well, and it still just didn't flick into the 54. Clayton will look at 9. Now he looks at double 8. Ooh, lovely double 8. Oh, yes. I'm glad we had a look at that earlier, because it's turned out to be a banger of a double, hasn't it, for Johnny Clayton. 5-2. Damon Heta, he has not managed to hold his
45
throw at all in this match. And lovely double 8 makes him pay.
$60.
Well, looked like Ferret was going on a deep run yesterday when he started with 104 average in seeing off Lung Kai Fan from Hong Kong, the man known as Fat Beauty. Beat Wayne Jones 6-3, and then he was in that battle with Dirk van Dijvenbode where he actually averaged more than the big Dutchman, but lost in a last leg decider. Had he won that game, he would have gone head to head with Michael van Gerwen.
177.
Beautiful stuff by Johnny Clayton, looking to get this game done and dusted in a hurry. The average is at about 105 for the Ferret. Heta is at around that 95 mark that he's been throwing so far this year.
97.
It's just what he's done. He's been consistent, he's been good, he's been dangerous, he's been a threat, keeps going out. Keeps going out in round 1 and round 2. Got to keep plugging away, Damon Heta, and I think things will turn for him. But right now, this is Johnny Clayton's afternoon. Fills it up, and he leaves double 12. Again, the shuffle to the left. And this time it works for Damon Heta, but it might be the last dart he throws in this contest. Bullseye for the Ferrets. 17. You'll need that, Johnny. Oh, the cogs. Whirring around in the Ferret's head. Double top.
62.
Not quite there. And Damon Heta can prolong this game, can keep his hopes alive. It's over for double 6. Should be able to use that. Oh,
12.
No. Well, it's not. He's not getting hammered, Damon Heta. He's competitive. But Johnny Clayton has had too much this afternoon. A 6-2 victory, an average of 103 from the Ferret. Pretty impressive stuff as he moves through to round 2, where he'll face either fellow Welshman Nick Kenny or Matthew Denon. That first round game is coming up in a moment. Well, we've seen one Welshman victorious already on this streaming board today. The Ferret Johnny Clayton, the top seed on this board, seeded number 13
to throw
today.
For the bullseye.
He waits the winner of this one. It is Nick Kenny.
25.
Or Matty Dennant, the scholar.
25.
The man
Throw
from
again.
the West
Matt to
Midlands.
throw first.
Matty Dennant, not a tour card holder, but stepping up from the Challenge Tour
25.
by virtue of a fantastic opening weekend on the second tier system. Got 128 players in these Players' Championship
25.
events. So
again,
if some of
Nick
the tour
to throw
card holders
first.
aren't available, say for example, Kyle Anderson, who's still back in Australia. We've seen Goin Price pull out today, not sure what that's about. Nathan Derry's not
Outside.
available. Max Hopp has pulled out, so the likes of Dennant is in,
And
Adam
25.
Huckvale, Stu Wilson,
So it's
Andrew
Matt to throw
Gilding,
first. Game on.
and of course Scotty Mitchell, former BDO World Champion. They're all involved today.
140.
And don't rule out some of those guys who've stepped up, because you only have to look what Christoph Ratajski did. He won 3 of these things before he even had a tour card. Nick Kenny, a new tour card holder. And it was here in Wigan that he won on the final day of Q School. It was all or nothing for Nick Kenny, and my word, did he step up and rise to the occasion, because the back end of the day,
59.
he was scintillating. Through 110 average in his final against Scott Taylor. It was incredible stuff. But said,
180.
he does like playing in this venue, because it's one that he'd featured in before. One where he'd won titles on the development tour back in 2015, half a decade ago. Then went off, played BDO stuff, won some titles there. And now he's taking a step up to the PDC. It is not what
97.
you'd call an aesthetically pleasing throw that Nick Kenny's got, is it? It's a bit jerky, but it is effective. Matty Dennant's got a much sort of more classical action, hasn't he?
140.
The 180 has given Nick Kenny
60.
a chance of a checkout and a 12 darter, but Matty Dennant, the favourite for this leg. Only going to get 1 dart at the double here. It's double top.
24.
And it's high. Sixteens. Well, the treble would have left tops.
51.
Unable to take it out. And Dennant to hold his throw.
Game shot.
Beautiful dart. 16 dart leg for Matty Dennant, who has played Nick Kenny before in PDC darts, and it was back in the development tour days. Back in 2015. Sorry, I've said
140.
that Nick Kenny won his development tour titles that year, didn't he? It was 2014 that he won his 2 development tour titles here in Wigan.
100.
These two met the following year on the development tour, PDC youth system. Won that day,
125.
by the way. Man from Newport, South Wales.
100.
Famed for the big Ryder Cup golf course. A Goldie looking chain. I don't have much more about Newport, to be honest.
60.
Matty Dennant,
83.
a man from Blockswich in the West Midlands. Unfortunately for him, at the moment, he's perhaps most noted for being the man that nearly stopped
60.
Glenn Durrant's PDC career before it started, which is a shame, because Matty Dennant's been around for a while, and he's, you know, obviously just won a Challenge Tour. That was his second Challenge Tour title. We've
43.
seen him play TV events like the UK Open, but he missed darts to beat Glenn Durrant, which would have stopped him from getting through Q School, and we wouldn't have seen him become the newcomer of the year, 3-time major semi-finalist
100.
in 2019, does it? It's kind of like being remembered.
82.
People might remember Chris Waddle most for missing a penalty in an Italia 90 semi-final World Cup, which is a shame.
Game shot.
Nick Kenny pins that double 8. look at it. Look at it. Lingering double eight
100.
shots. That's what we're going to bring you all afternoon. You like double eight? I don't care, I'm going to show it you.
140. 140. 97.
Well, as you can probably tell, we're having a few technical problems. Oh, look at that! Quick
43.
zoom on Matty Dennant there, making him look twice his normal size. It would appear that our camera system is basically
56.
making decisions using a set of dice. Not our fault, apologies, but we will try and keep you abreast of what's going on here in Wigan.
58.
Matty Dennant leaves himself at 160, but Kenny is probably the favourite for the leg, or he was at the start of this visit.
100.
And that does give him a real good opportunity. Beautiful dart. Follow it, Matty Dennant. No.
100.
Now then, 19s. Is that the right way we're going? It is. Single. Double 16. Yeah,
Game shot.
really nice. Nick Kenny, lovely stuff. A lot of players like the 19s route on the 108, staying in that portion of the board to leave double 16 a favourable double. We saw in the opening game that Shanghai 18s was the choice for both Heta and Clayton, but probably
100.
I'm not sure what the most popular route would be for the 108, but I'd guess most pros look at the 19s and double 16 option.
100. 131.
The bonus about going the 18s route, of course, for the 108. If you miss either side in the one or the four,
40.
you still have a chance of taking out the checkout. Someone like Wayne Mardle, I would imagine, would argue that Shanghai 18s is probably, therefore, the way to go.
140.
But Kenny took it out on the 19s and the 16s, and he's looking to open up a two-leg advantage here, because he's going to get 6 darts minimum
84.
from 130. Treble 20, you'll leave tops.
90.
A scruffy first dart, but by the end of it, he'd got what he wanted.
100. 'Game
Nicely
shot.
done. 15 darter. Nick Kenny does open up a 2-leg gap. That's 3 legs on the spin. Matty Dennant will now be feeling the pressure a little.
43.
There's not been much between these two in terms of the standard of darts they've played so
60.
far this year. Matty Dennant only played yesterday. He wasn't playing in the opening weekend, not a tour card holder, as I said. But he beat Rob Collins and then only lost in the last
59.
leg decider to Nathan Aspinall yesterday. He was averaging just over 91 for the day. 91 is pretty much where Nick Kenny's been at in the opening couple of weekends
54.
of his PDC senior career. Had a last 16 run last Saturday, lost out to Joe Cullen. Lost out in the second round on the Sunday to Peter Wright. And was beaten by a really good display from Dirk van Dijvenbode, who started 2020 really well.
'59.
Again, Kenny has put himself in a strong position in this leg, but needs a treble.
60.
Can't get it, but I'm not sure whose shoes he'd rather be in. got to stay on that treble 20.
60.
Just a frustration there. Matty Dennant's only had one visit in this leg where he's found a big treble. It's just opening the door for Nick Kenny. Is he going through it?
100.
To an extent he is. He's on a 2-darter. Can he get another? He can for double 10. Matty Dennant. Oh, what a shot that is from absolutely nowhere. Matthew Dennant, who looked to be sleepwalking into a 4-1 deficit, pins the 140 checkout on double 10. Nick Kenny stranded on 87.
100. 140. 60. 40.
Well, it's cost him 20 points, might cost him 60 there, and that might prove to be the difference in this leg. And this
99.
set to be a key one. The difference between Nick Kenny going 4-2 up and 2 legs away from victory and 3-all is vast.
59. 100.
I've got a number of results coming through from around the 16 boards here in Wigan. Michael Van Gogh in the world #1, only a 92 average, but good enough
46.
for a 6-4 win against Andy Bolton. James Wade, seen off Ted Everts in the last leg decider. Adrian Lewis beat Willie O'Connor 6-4. Ian White with an average of over 107 has beaten Jan Decker. Ratajski sees off Mickey Mansell in the last leg.
96.
Peter Wright, the world champion, a 6-1 winner, 102.5 average. Jeff Smith, well, for the second day running, Jeff Smith has taken on a big name player. As Nick Kenny pins double 8 for 4-2. Jeff Smith, for the second day running, has taken on a big name player. Yesterday it was Mensur Suljovic. Today it's Rob Cross. In both games he's taken a commanding lead. It's 4-1 today. I think it was 5-2 yesterday against Mensur. But he has lost because Rob Cross has reeled off the last 5 legs on the spin for a 6-4 victory.
140.
15-darter, 14-darter, 14-darter, 15-darter, and then an 18-darter to win it. Rob Cross, 6-4.
140.
The world match play and European champion safely through to the second round despite surviving a bit of a scare. Also wins for the likes of Joe Cullen, Glenn Durrant.
180.
Kenny, his second 180 of this contest. But once again, Daryl Gurney has had an early exit. He is having a nightmare start to 2020 as Daryl Gurney, beaten 6-5 by the cannon Gavin Carlin. Worrying times for Super Chin fans. He'll be back on Thursday night in the Premier League in Cardiff, needing to turn things round. Dennant needs the bullseye now. And pins the bullseye. Fabulous checkout for Matty Dennant, who is hanging on in there.
$70. 85.
One of the players who stepped up from the Challenge Tour looks to be getting an opening win. Andrew Gilding
59.
is in the building. He's 5-3 up on bigger Boris Karchmar. Matthew Dennant's
81.
another one of the Challenge Tour cadre. Has work to do to turn this around. It is not an insurmountable
100.
obstacle, this. He's just got to find one good leg against the throw.
137.
This might be it. Great darts.
140.
Kenny first to a finish, but Dennant still senses the opportunity. And it's not
60.
seized. You can just see the grimace. He knows he should have left himself a more makeable checkout than the 138. There's room in there for another. Oh, unlucky.
92.
But he will leave himself tops. This should have been easier for Matty Dennant. This was a chance. And it's slipping through his fingers. He's relying
58.
on Kenny missing. Double 5.
30.
Oh, that is a wild one from Nick Kenny. Dennant does get the chance. There'll only be one chance. It's one chance at double top. And
Game
that
shot.
is a wonderful dart from Matthew Dennant. He does get the break. He levels this game up. It is 4 apiece. He has the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs.
$55. $60. $100.
Andrew Gilding has beaten Boris Karchmar. Gilding has averaged more than 102 in that game. But there was plenty of thumb action in that one from
56.
Goldfinger. Tony Alcinas has knocked out Dave Chisnell. Chizzy only averaging 82.
140.
Beaten 6-4. And Devon Peterson's walked into another really good first round display from an
45.
opponent. He's not getting much luck, Devon Peterson. People keep throwing big averages against him. Today it's the turn of the Scotsman Ryan Murray. Averaged almost 99. Won it 6-1.
100. $100.
Well, Matthew Dennant to go into the lead. Treble 18. Back to the 20s. Oh no, he's gone over to the 12s. Can understand the thinking. But he should get 2 darts to go into the lead. He led at 1-0, Matty Dennant. He has not had his nose in front
180.
since Kenny levelled. Maximum applies the pressure. Will it tell? Oh, he's cost himself a dart.
40.
Well, Matthew Dennant has made a mess of that. It was a long way from the single 16 that would have given him 2 darts at tops. And it threw him. And he's beaten himself up at the back of the booth there. Nick Kenny can compound his misery with double 10.
Game shot.
And that's a good last dart from Nick Kenny. Holds his nerve. The 180 to apply the pressure was good. The last dart in double 10 was excellent, and it might prove to be the decisive moment.
$54. $100. $140.
Well, Dennant turned up this weekend
97.
having won one of the Challenge Tours in the opening weekend. So he's one of the best performers on the Challenge Tour. It's got him a chance to make up the numbers at the Players' Championship.
60.
His first round win yesterday against Rob Collins earns him 500 quid.
100.
But unless he can break the throw here and then hold in the last leg decider, 500 quid is all he's going to get out of this weekend.
55.
But he's stolen the darts. Has he just become favourite for this game?
100.
He might have been. 104 required.
136.
Kenny once again applying the pressure. Matty Dennant has wilted. Well,
44.
the old Wayne Mardle reasoning will tell you to look down the board at the 16s, maybe even the 19s, because you miss either side, you've still got a shot. Nick Kenny has got a shot for the match. Double 10 again. And double
Game
10 is
shot.
pinned again
match.
to break Matty Dennant's heart. He will be kicking himself. There were opportunities there for the scholar, but he could not take them. Nick Kenny progresses to round 2, where it'll be an all-Welsh tie between the Ferret and the man from Newport. Streaming board. We've seen Johnny the Favourite Clayton and Nick Kenny come through the opening 2 games. And it's going to be an English winner in this one because it's an
25,
all-English
so
affair.
Conan's won the ball.
In a sort of early stages, Conan Whitehead look. Trying to get the beard going.
60.
Conan's got a bit of head start on him in that front. Hit a 9 darter.
123.
Last weekend. Not something he'd done before in PDC darts, I believe. But he'll get himself a lovely badge.
140. 140.
No prize money for 9 darters, of course, not even the TV ones. The rolling prize pot just sort of quietly disappeared.
96.
Nobody noticed for a number of months. And then when they did, people started getting outraged about it, even though they hadn't even realised it had gone away.
100.
300 scored in 3 visits to the board for Conan Whitehead. Don't need to be Carol Vorderman to figure out that's an average of 100.
180.
And the first maximum goes to Keegan Brown, the man from the Isle of Wight.
$177.
Fabulous response from Whitehead, leaves himself double 12, might not get a go at it. Now, what route is Keegan going to go here? All right, treble 5, it's an option.
86.
Sets himself up nicely, and that's the next best prize, but Whitehead should win the leg from here. And it's down to that
Game shot.
Superb setup shot. He's ranked in the 70s in the world rankings. He's got to get to that top 64 to keep hold of his tour card by the end of the year. I mean, he should be okay. But
140.
Got to get to things like the World Championship. You've got to get to the Players' Championship finals. That's where you can pick up big chunks of money, particularly the Worlds. And we've seen players like Luke Woodhouse
59.
go to Ali Pali, win their first 2 games, and it's kept them on the tour. It's on. Double 18.
Game
and
shot.
It's in. Really nice. Conan Whitehead, 12 dart leg. 1-2-1 checkout. Oh, bump of the fists. Keegan was impressed with it. 14 dart hold, 12 dart break. Textbook start.
128.
Conan Whitehead, who switches over to the 18s. Does like doing that, Conan, moving to the 54 rather than the 57, the treble 19 down the board.
41.
He's on it today. It could be one of those big Conan Whitehead
140.
Because I know only 2.5 legs in, but the average is fabulous at the minute. It's up towards 120.
100.
Whitehead's going to get 6 darts from 1-3-3 for a 3-0 lead. And the scoreboard pressure will build upon Keegan Brown.
93.
Beautiful. Excellent double 8.
117.
Well, fear not, we will return for double 8.
$79.
So double 8s. Up for double 4.
Game shot.
14 darters to hold, a 12 darter to break. Conan Whitehead is putting in a textbook display here against Keegan Brown. And the former world youth champion just does not have an answer
93.
at the moment.
$95.
This feels like a must-win leg for Keegan Brown. But then again, we have seen a number of comebacks already this weekend. And saw Suljevic yesterday on this board against Jeff Smith. Rob Cross today against Jeff Smith
134.
on another one of the boards. Peter Wright against Adrian Lewis yesterday. They looked done for.
45.
Is Conan just going off the boil a bit? Well, Keegan looking at the 19s and the 20s. He might have used the bullseye there to leave himself a 170 checkout. He doesn't need to do any of that from there because Whitehead cannot leave a finish from 361. So
140.
kind of doing it out of habit, Keegan, because he knows that's a shot you should go for. But sometimes you think, well, what's your best opportunity of scoring big? And that's probably just thrown at the treble 20
93.
in that instance. Don't have to worry about moving around the board. But he is in charge of this leg as he looks to stop the rots. He was in charge.
100.
But Conan's already taken out 121 in this game. He has given Keegan a warning. 18 segment. Bullseye now.
63.
Keegan's first dart at double in the match. 25. Or is it 11? It is now double 14.
Game
Beautiful
shot.
stuff from Conan Whitehead. 1-2-1 taken out for the second time in a game. This time a different route. And he is averaging 109 right now. Keegan Brown has been allowed 1 dart at the bullseye. That is
140.
it in this match. Conan Whitehead is taking him to school.
$177.
Lovely switch down the board from Keegan.
$60.
Now, can he follow it up? We will not see another 9 darter from Keegan in this particular leg at any rate.
80.
Wild last dart.
$100. Correct. 80.
Well, gets the maths all right. So Keegan Brown is down to a finish, but Whitehead is going to hit another 177. No, he's not, but he might look at the bull here.
99.
Using the bullseye should have left him a 2-dart checkout, but with the way that Conan Whitehead is finishing, I don't think the 102 is going to phase him at all. Keegan's averaging in the 90s here. It's not as if he's been dreadful.
94.
Conan Whitehead has just closed out legs whenever he's had the opportunity, and he might do it again here. Double 16.
70.
Oh, just misses outside. It has to go, Keegan. It has to go. And double 16 is the target, and he knows how big a dart this is. If he doesn't hit it, surely he loses.
38.
And surely he will lose now. Conan Whitehead seems to be playing too well not to win this match from here. Oh, that doesn't make it easy, though. You can see it on his face. Look where he's going. He's practically on board 12 over there.
No score.
Always a tricky one. Made it very, very difficult for himself. And Keegan Brown, a huge sigh of relief, but he has to close this out.
Game shot.
And he does do. Keegan Brown is on the board. He's had a little bit of luck there, but he has just broken the Whitehead throw. He could well have been 5-0 down. 4 darts missed for 5-0 by Conan Whitehead, a man who is still averaging 102.
140.
Is the comeback on?
$95. $97. $100.
Winner of this one will take on the winner of our next game. That's a couple of players from the Netherlands going head-to-head. Gert Nenschers, up-and-coming young player with a magnificent throw. And Jelle Klaassen, former world champion. Well,
192 left.
there we go, 192 left, says our caller.
139.
Whitehead does leave himself a finish. He does have some funky finishing routes, Keegan Brown, but he was going the more established way.
125.
Decent setup. And he will get a go at that Keegan Brown. A 4-leg deficit.
95.
Might be halved to just 2.
Game shot.
And is halved to just 2.
$180.
Great visit. And Conan, who's averaging more than 100, believe it or not, that's his first 180 of the game.
$58.
Oh, hello.
180.
His first 180 of the game, quickly followed by his second 180 of the game. And Conan Whitehead, who has already taken out
81.
121 twice in this match, now wants 141, but cannot produce it. We will not see a third 9-dart leg of the weekend.
80.
Last dart falls out the board, but he is 301 points clear, so I think he's probably going to feel okay about that.
57.
After seeing Brown bounce back, this is a fabulous leg to reassert his authority in this one.
Game shot.
Double 9 is there, sticks it in the corner. 12-dart leg from Conan Whitehead. He is 1 away from the victory. Conan, who had a good first
60.
weekend. The opening event, he made the last 16. And then won 1 game on the Sunday.
94.
He's actually won as many games as anybody on this board. In fact, these two have been the two most
60.
successful players in terms of money won from the first few events. Conan's won his first round match every single time, and it looks like that's going to continue.
81.
Yesterday to Glenn Durrant, who averaged 100 against him, although he did whitewash him 6-0. Lost on the Sunday last week to Johnny Clayton. Lost on the Saturday to Peter Wright. So he's the only people who have beaten him are top players, major champions or major finalists, people who've won stage titles in the PDC.
100.
This is the end of the road for Keegan Brown. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe
180.
not. He's not going away just yet.
$81.
Treble 17. Just the wrong side of that wire.
111.
But again, leaves himself nicely placed.
105.
Whitehead, match darts incoming if there's any slip from Keegan here. Oh my word, that's a good effort.
No score.
And the last one goes the wrong side of the marker darts, and there is a slip from Keegan Brown. Conan Whitehead to pounce.
Game
and
shot
he maintains his record of winning every first round game so far in 2020. Conan Whitehead books his place in round 2. We'll face a Dutchman next, either the Cobra Jelle Klaassen or Gert Nenches. That will conclude our first round action here on Streaming Board 1 from Players Championship 4.
In letters on screen.
Okay, so it's yellow to throw for the bullseye first. Outside.
Well, one more first round match remaining for you here on streaming board 1. And in the words of Beyonce, you ain't ready for this yelly Klaassen. As the Cobra takes on Gert Nenches, young Dutchman.
25.
Who many people, myself included,
25.
Serves are already lagging.
Has one of the most aesthetically pleasing throws in the game. He's like a young beater.
Bullseye.
If I'm not being too strong in my praise. Look at it.
Outside, so
I mean,
yellow's
it's not
won the
gone
ball.
Straight, but the throw looks nice. You may hear, we've had the rain over the last few minutes bouncing down off the roof here in Wigan, so you might hear that 96. On and off. I'm not sure if the microphones here are picking it up. But certainly, Ryan Searle mentioned it yesterday, down on the floor. It is, some of the players are noticing
82.
it at times. Some clown
135.
in my ear trying to get me to sing Rihanna Umbrella with Jelle Klaassen's name in it, but it's not happening. It's not happening, I tell you. I refuse to stoop
81.
to such levels. You want that nonsense? Go and watch Chris Murphy and the other streaming board. He'll give it you. Oh.
140.
Jelle launching into this one.
$100. $90. $58.
Double top for Jelle Klaassen to get the first leg on the board.
Game shot.
There it is, 13 darter. Good start for Jelle Klaassen. He is the sort of player who, if he starts well in games, you can find him 3-4 legs up in no time at all.
58. $100.
Jelle, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to have a look at the darts that he's using. He is a guy who switches quite regularly between sets of darts. There's very little difference. They're always the same shape and very similar style, but he's just got slightly different grip patterns, quite a idiosyncratic series of grip styles that he's got on his darts, Jelle Klaassen. I mean, his throw is, I don't think there's anybody who throws like Jelle Klaassen. Elbows going in and out. Looks like he's playing an accordion.
96. $123.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
180.
So effortless, isn't it? I know Nenches has sprayed a few darts high and low and left and right in these opening couple of legs, but when he gets it
64.
right, it just looks so easy. And the 180 is giving himself a chance of levelling this game up. Could get 6 darts from here. Trouble 17. Nope.
43.
Trouble 19. Leaves tops.
Game
shot. It's a barnstormer. Jelle Klaassen. What a shot that is. 2-0. Break of throw. 13 darter, followed by a 15 darter. 107 average. He's in again.
180.
Jelle. It's good watching Jelle Klaassen play well, isn't it? It's quick, it's high quality. He's a guy who has won PDC titles, but had a good couple of years
60.
of late where he struggled. The confidence has gone. He's been fighting and scrapping